Here are the discussion leader instructions for an in-person class discussion. There are 50 possible points for this assignment. This assignment is always due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. prior to the week in which you actually lead the discussion. You can certainly turn it in earlier. Assignment overview. The purpose of this assignment is to help prepare you to use the skills of speaking in public, asking open-ended questions, along with providing credible information. This may be useful to you in your future career as you work with colleagues on projects or present a project to a potential client. As a discussion leader, you must first complete the readings and videos and the quiz prior to finding articles for the in-class discussion. This will help you understand the topic and keep you from duplicating one of the quiz sources. You will be submitting a 200-word summary of each of your two sources, a citation for each source, a link to each source, and your 4 questions. You will be leading a class discussion for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can skip that weekly module's usual research requirements since you already will have done some research. Find at least 2 current sources that are no more than 3 years old. These 2 sources must provide contrasting perspectives. In other words, each source must present different information about your module's topic, ideally trying to find resources that provide opposing information. This assignment is connected to the ULO of Writing as well as Diversity and Ethics. How to complete this assignment. 1. Please complete the readings, videos, and the quiz for your module's topic prior to finding an article for the in-class discussion. This will help you understand the topic and keep you from duplicating one of the sources provided in the required reading and videos. 2. Find at least 2 current sources that are no more than 3 years old. These 2 sources must provide contrasting perspectives. In other words, each source must present different information about your module's topic. Ideally, try to find sources that provide opposing information. One of your sources must be a peer-reviewed article from a scholarly, professional journal. It must be a credible source that can meet the CRAP criteria. For information about this, see the CRAP document attached to this assignment. The other source must also meet the CRAP criteria. Try to find an article, book, chapter, video that is credible. For example, the best is a peer-reviewed scholarly article, one of which is required. The New York Times is better than a blog, and please don't use a Wikipedia entry. If you find a video, try to find out who made it and what research they used to back up their claims on the video. You could use a blog written by an author who is an authority regarding your topic, for example, a professor of history at Harvard, making her or him a credible source. Write a minimum 200-word summary for each of your 2 sources, explaining how and why it relates to the module's topic. Include both a link to each source as well as citation for each source. Write 4 questions about this topic for the class. The 4th question must be written about how the content of this topic is related to diversity, inequality, or ethics. Questions should be open-ended. In other words, you can't answer them with one word, such as no or yes, or the name of a place or person. Do not write your question and then add why to the end. Read your question out loud to a friend to check if it is open-ended. B. A good example. What are the possible effects of legalizing marriage between same-sex partners in your local community? C. A bad example. Do you think gay marriage should be allowed? Why? 6. Submit your assignment to the module in the class discussion board for your topic. You must copy and paste your assignment in the discussion board. Do not attach a document. I will be grading your assignment in the class discussion board, not in the assignment. Be sure to include the following for your 2 sources: a citation for each source, a link to each source, a 200-word summary for each of your sources, and include your 4 open-ended questions. Leading the class discussion. Expect to spend about 15 to 20 minutes leading the class discussion. You may sit at your table or lead from the podium in front of the class. 2. Provide a 4 to 5 minute summary for each of your articles to the class. You may read your summaries from the discussion board submission in your own computer or have a printed copy to read from. You may also provide your own thoughts or opinions on this topic when leading the class. The instructor will put your questions into that week's PowerPoint. 4. When you ask the class each question, be prepared to call on students who are raising their hands or to ask groups to provide an answer if no one volunteers. 5. Be ready to answer questions about your articles or your questions. 6. Ask follow-up questions to the students who are answering your questions when appropriate. If you don't have a follow-up question, acknowledge that student's answer and viewpoint. The grading scheme is listed in this rubric right here. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.